Hello and welcome back to Regiments. In the last episode we destroyed enemy artillery during our night raid, and now we are tasked to reinforce our defensive line near Göttingen. And for that we need to reinforce our unit. We have over 370 deployment points, so let's have a look what we can do. First of all, I want to give us more deployment points so that we can get more forces on the field. I also want some more tactical support so that we can get our support staff in. And I think we should also invest something into further engineering support. This leaves us with 196 points, and we are going to invest 125 of those into the task force Leitung, because this is going to give us access to a couple more Leopard 2A1s and to the Roland anti-air system. Also, once we're able to level this one up, we get access to helicopters. And the rest of those points are going to be invested into our force. We need to restore our pioneers because they have been annihilated in the last fight, and we also need to get these pioneers back up to strength. Or well, these Panzer Grenadiers. And the rest is going to be invested into our remaining forces. This only leaves us with these scouts we haven't been able to upgrade, but we still have another unit of scouts, so therefore we should be fine. And with that, all of our units are back up to strength. And we also have some further reports from the battlefield. This is some further information from our headquarters, and it says that the Jäger Battalion has set up a hasty defensive line west of Göttingen. We are to reinforce them and hold the line. The main force of the division are still arriving and need time to deploy properly. And we also have some further information on the NATO Corps. From Santec, US 5th Corps and German 3rd Corps participated in the outbreak of German escalation. Integrating the latest weapons and organizational reforms, 5th Corps was at a peak of its strength. 3rd Corps, while somewhat weaker in equipment and caught in the middle of maneuvering at the outbreak of the war, had its ground against overwhelming odds with admirable bravery. And now, before we can finally enter the battle, we have to take an event card. And I personally think it might at this moment be wise to choose the divisional artillery, and then in the next phase we will have to work with the damage repair depot. But now, on to battle. And before we get to deploy our forces, let's quickly take a look on the battlefield. We can see that we have the control of the majority of the field, and that we have our entrance point over in this section. The communist forces are going to deploy from here and from over here, as well as from over here. And so far they only hold two objectives. This is on one side Junde, that is situated over here, and also for some reason they hold Niental all the way down here. But as you can see, there is no entry point for the communist threat over on this side of the battlefield, meaning that we should have an easy time taking this place out, while we then have to focus our defensive operations all the way over here. Our forces are deployed and the battle can soon begin. Over here at Mike we have gathered a couple tanks, pioneers and some Panzer Grenadiers, together with some Leopards over at Hill 122 to take out Niental. We have also deployed a Roland anti-air system over here close to Dransfeld West, which should allow us to dominate the sky, or well, to make sure that the enemy doesn't dominate the sky. And we have also gathered forces over here at Hill 104 so that we can attack Junde. After that, we would have to deploy our forces all the way along this line to make sure that the enemy can't break through. I've also deployed some anti-air systems and some tank hunters at various locations on the battlefield that are not highlighted right now, but that we are soon going to see. For example, over here we should have some tank hunters, over here we should have some scouts and some further tank hunters over here. We also have some gepards behind our line to make sure that these guys are clear. But now it is time to focus on the battle ahead. The battle immediately begins. Our scouts need to move forward a little bit so that we can figure out where the enemy is. Our tanks over here need to move forward. Our tanks hunters, I want them over here. And to this position down, our Leopards were immediately able to hit some enemy forces that are entrenched over in this area. Our Leopards are attacking. I want our Pioneers to move forward. I want our Panzer Grenadiers to move forward as well. And they are, as soon as they've reached their positions, going to dismount and take out those positions. Our Leopards able to hit those mortars? I do hope so. This is going to make our life easier. And over here we need our forces to push up. Let's call in an artillery barrage on Yunde to make sure that we can get those forces suppressed. And it looks like some of our forces are getting suppressed. Now, over here, we are pushing into town. These tanks need to push up. We have helicopters over here. Our anti-air systems should soon be in range and should shoot down these helicopters. The same goes with the Roland anti-air system. This should also be able to fight. We have enemy forces over here. Martyrs are flanking, and over here our Jaguars are beginning to shell enemy ground. And it appears if this continues, we might have to get our Jaguars to move out. We have enemy artillery shooting in from down there. We have enemy tanks pushing up. These forces need to be quick to overwhelm the enemy resistance. And I have the feeling that these forces need to push forward to hopefully avoid the enemy attacks. So far, everything is according to plan. We have forces that are attacking over here. Let's hope our prepared defenses are strong enough to stop them. We have lost a unit. I can't really tell which one. Oh yeah, it is our tanks. We need to get those out. Let's better retreat them in full. These Leopards, I want them to go into reverse. They should still be able to hit those tanks. And over here we need to continue our push. Leopards and infantries need to push up. Scouts also need to push up. We can't really see a lot. And let's get these infantries back so that they get a little bit more cover.
Zone captured.
Now, we have taken out a few parts of our objective. Let's get these guys up. These Leopards, I want them to move forward over there so that they stop being so suppressed. And let's hope that with our combined fire we should be able to break through here. Let's get these tanks forward so that we ideally kick out these artillery pieces. And after that, these martyrs might have to get withdrawn. We have enemy infantry behind our lines, so let's get these tanks forward as quickly as possible to get out of that dangerous situation. Smoke up this position. And get our martyrs back up again. And let's also get these Leopards moving because they have their rear exposed. These Schützen should be done within an instant. Let's try to get these Leopards out.
Zone captured.
We can't see those positions right now. And we have enemy artillery coming in, or our artillery. Over here we are still holding them back with our prepared defenses. And now we have finally broken the enemy over here. Let's quickly get these forces up. These guys need to get out. And these guys need to move as quickly as possible. We are now finally able to call in more forces. Let's quickly get some more Leopards out. Let's also get some... Well, we can't get anything else up at the moment. Let's get these tanks out as well, because they are basically done. These Jaggers need to get forward to also get on those infantries. And we have finally some more forces that we can call in. We need to get our tanks forward because we are about to lose this position. And soon we should be able to get more forces in. We have an artillery barrage that we're going to focus on these assault groups over there. And we need to get our armades withdrawn. Casualties are high, far higher than I want them to be. Panzer Grenadiers, move forward. Reinforcements are coming up. We have enemy artillery over there, but nothing really to counter it at the moment. These looks need to keep moving. And as soon as we have kicked out those Schützen, we should be safe over on all fronts. Then it is time to make sure that we repel enemy attacks. Let's also quickly call in more artillery. And all reinforcements are slowly trickling onto the battlefield. We still need to wait a little bit until we can call in further strong reinforcements. Leopards, move up over there. These forces are withdrawing. Wonderful. Let's get these tank hunters over there. From there they should have a good angle on the enemy forces that are infiltrating our lines. Pioneers, you need to set up over here. These tank crews need to withdraw.
Zone lost.
We are losing Schäden. But we can also get more tanks forward. We are running through a lot of our resources. But we are also able to do some good damage. At the moment, more of our forces are pulling up. We have supplies that we need to get up over here. I was wondering where I left them. And as soon as these Jaguars are here, we should have some flanking fire that we can pull on the enemy. These Leopards, we are unfortunately unable to reinforce, so let's get them out. But we can get further infantry on. Now, our flanking force of tanks is in the area. We are almost in range. Let's get these Panzer Grenadiers dismounted and push forward. Ideally, push these enemy forces back. Let's hope we can hold Echo. We have 11 more minutes to hold. And we should be able to use these Jaguars effectively against those tanks. And soon we are hopefully able to call in further reinforcements. Over here we are able to see anything from the enemy if they come from this direction. If they outflank us, we would be in a bit of a pickle, but all in all, this situation shouldn't be too bad. Pioneers, move back a little. Tanks are getting annihilated over in this area. Schäden seems fine. We have 100 additional points, and I'm going to send some forces over to Buren. This way we might be able to knock out enemy artillery that is holding up over there. Our supplies are slowly arriving. I want them to move over here so that we can reinforce our Jaguars. These tanks move up. And we have annihilated enemy forces over in this area. Wonderful. Now let's get our forces moving because enemy artillery is opening up on us. They are coming from over there. I'm going to order an artillery strike. It is expensive, remarkably expensive, and maybe not a good decision. But, well, we have to do something. Our Rolands are still keeping the sky clear. Supplies are going to set up over here, meaning that I'm also going to get our Jaguars down to get further ammunition. And now we need to find a good spot to position our soldiers. Whoop. Enemy contact.
Zone captured.
Let's get these guys into reverse. Tank hunters forward. Over here, our tanks need to engage the enemy. Flank them, hit them, and destroy them. Pioneers, dismount. Where are our additional tank reinforcements that were sent over here? There they are coming up. These guys move into reverse. These guys get off the battlefield. You're completely suppressed anyway. Supplies are setting up. They are hopefully able to support. These tank hunters should be able to support. Let's get these guys to move out of harm's way. And an artillery barrage to annihilate everything that moves over there. Tank reinforcements are coming in. These guys can move forward. More tanks over here are getting targeted. Let's get these guys set up and ideally from the battlefield. They have lost a bunch of infantry that got shredded from enemy artillery, from enemy anti-aircraft systems. These leopards, I want them to get back to get some fresh ammunition. These leopards should be able to annihilate that HQ units that seem to be only partially armed. Woo! What a firework! That is an enemy HQ unit annihilated. Martyrs, move up over there. Over here we are getting some hardness up. We can see that these tanks have already suffered massive casualties. But it doesn't help. We still need to get them back in. Let's hope we have enough victory points so that we can get everyone repaired. I also want some mortars that we can pull up over here. And we need to get these guys into some defensive ground so that we are hopefully able to stop enemy counterattack. These guys, I want them to rotate slightly. And ideally, we are now able to push forward on these positions and strike them hard. We still have a couple pioneers. I want them to pull up over here. 6 more minutes. The enemy is definitely going to counterattack. These are enemy tanks. I'm going to get our leopards in reverse so that we can ideally avoid unnecessary casualties. Wonderful. Good hits, good hits. It seems they have 1 or 2 tanks remaining. They have something over there and they have scouts over there. We need to focus our attention on those tanks. And we need to pull up with a massive artillery barrage over there because it looks like this is the gathering ground of the enemy forces. Let's get these guys out because they're getting targeted like crazy right now. We were able to annihilate some tank though. These guys need to withdraw. Our tanks should be able to hopefully flank some of those approaching infantry. And I want to divert some attention of our tanks from over here to down there. We were quite successful in our tanks and our spotting allowed our allied artillery to pull up and to also fire on those positions. I want our looks to move up over here, just to make sure we do not get outflanked over on this situation. Because so far we are holding quite well. Unfortunately, we lack reinforcements that could immediately attack. Should we or should we not send our leopards over here? Or should we make them stay? For the moment, I think it would be wiser to send them forward. We have more forces in the area that can reinforce. We have tank hunters that should be able to give us some help, and we still have some forces over here. I'm going to send supplies down to get these tanks repaired. And now I want these leopards to move forward so that we can help with a hit on the enemy. These are T-55s, somewhat outdated tanks, so we should have a relatively easy time defeating those. But of course not if they are sending more and more forces in to help. Let's get them back, and let's also send some artillery barrages over here, because they have multiple units moving in over there. Our tanks over here are luckily able to help, and apparently were able to flank some of the enemies. And as soon as these tanks have broken out of their cover, they should also be able to help in the defense. Enemy scouts are about to be destroyed. Mortars are hitting over there. Come on, guys. Hit them, hit them, hit them. Good shots, good shots. Nice work. Yeah, these T-55s are getting annihilated. These scouts have also seen better days. In the meantime, these leopards are relatively fine. Their suppression is beginning to tick up and ammunition is running low. But we are at least able to do some good damage onto the enemy. These tanks are almost destroyed, these scouts are almost destroyed, and we need to shift these guys around to hit those tanks. And now we can push up over here. 2 minutes remaining. The rest of our flank seems fine. These tanks should be repaired soon. Maybe we need to get them a bit closer. And with that, I hope we have gained enough operational authority to repair most of our losses. I want to quickly move forward, maybe destroy this entry point, if that is even possible at all. We have 2 more minutes, and if we are careful, we might be able to pull this one off. We do not know what we are shooting together there, but it is simply melting. Wonderful hits. Now let's push up. It appears we have a clean way through. Or not, we have further contact. We have defeated all the enemies on this phase. But I still want to figure out if we are actually able to destroy entry points. So let's, for this moment, focus on the destruction of that. And pull in. We have 1 minute remaining. Let's call in artillery.
1 minute remaining.
Let's get these leopards out. We have destroyed some shilkers. We have enemy infantry still on that entry point. Artillery is now coming in. Let's get these tanks forward. We should be able to arrive and to destroy it in time. 34 seconds left. Come on, guys. 25 seconds. Are we able to do it? It does not seem like it. These tanks are out of ammunition. Let's get them out for good. 4 seconds left, but it doesn't seem like we can actually capture those points. Well, anyway, we were able to grind some more enemies into the dust, so that was a good feeling. Over the course of this battle, we had over 35 enemies killed, we had 116 men wounded, and we had 5 men missing, meaning that we have a total casualty count of 155. We also have lost over 15 vehicles, meaning that we had quite high casualties. But that of course pales in comparison to that what the East German forces suffered. They had over 160 men killed, 507 men are reported as wounded, and 22 soldiers are missing, meaning that they have suffered over 689 total casualties. They have also lost over 105 vehicles and one of their helicopters. And as you can see, we have engaged a lot of forces and we were able to completely annihilate a lot of enemy platoons. And for the most part, it seems that the opposing team was only able to annihilate stationary units, but we have also lost some of our own, like for example this platoon of Leopards 1A5. But after that we have not lost a single of our platoons, and therefore I would call this quite successful. For the next phase, we have over 160 points of operational authority, and we still have to defend our line for 2 more phases. And given our success in the previous phase, I'm confident that we can still hold on. But this has to be it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.